Speaking of, Texas, Texas and OU leaving the Big 12 to go to the SEC. That is way, why did I say it like that? Crazy, because that shifts everything. Because Texas and OU were the Big 12 themselves. Like, if Texas and OU just made a conference of them two and that's it, they would still be called the Big 12. What is the old Big 12 going to do now? I think this is going to happen in 2025. I think it's very interesting that they're going to move in 2025. So, and the word's already out, so it's already like, it's kind of like a little Star Wars situation going on, like good versus evil, like the Big 12 teams that are not moving, but versus Texas and OU this year, they can probably play up. They're probably going to play more serious against them. There's probably going to be a weird togetherness of the other 10 teams. I think they have 12. But that was very strange. There's I think Texas might have a couple bad years. It's gonna be funny if Texas like plays even worse and moves. Texas is so frustrating because they're making so much money for being average. They're like the Notre Dame, and I had that thought the other day. I've always remembered calling that Colin Cowherd guy. He's always saying like Texas is kind of like Notre Dame, where like they're just like weirdly America's team. I don't know why. It's like Texas and Notre Dame, because I think just Texas is just a stereotype. Honestly, I think that might just be it. But I saw something or I saw that he said, and I kind of believe it. Like Texas should just go independent. I think that could be very good for Texas. Just saying. I mean, they have their own network. They got their own channel. Like, might as well at this point. So I wonder what's going to happen to the Big 12. Are they going to add SMU and Houston and all those teams? Tulsa, Toledo, UTEP. They could. I think that could be something. I just hope that Texas Tech University, the school that I just graduated from, is still in a power conference. Like, that would stink if Texas Tech started becoming like a mid-major. And I just went there and I'm like, fam, I just want, like, I literally went to y'all because y'all were like a Big 12 powerhouse. I miss Texas Tech. I actually miss Lubbock. You know what I mean? Random thought. But what else? I saw something where they could the two teams that are not moving to SEC are going to maybe merge with the Pac-12. That could be cool. Not sure how many teams that would be. Man, the SEC, it's like, okay, they have the Power 5 conferences in college football, but like now it's like the SEC is so dominant that they don't even like need, like, they are not even a conference. They're like a bigger than a conference. They're the world themselves. It should be the SEC and then like the Power 4. Honestly, because the pickup of OU is so underrated, just because like OU is honestly the only team that has like been doing consistently great that is an SEC team. I think it's been Ohio State and Oklahoma. It's always been, SEC teams versus Ohio State or versus Oklahoma in every championship, it seems like. So we'll see. How's that going to impact college basketball, though? That's going to be tough. Honest, wait. I actually feel bad for like Baylor and all of them. Like Baylor and TCU finally got good, finally got up to like Texas and like their level, and then now they're leaving. I do think that I've always thought Texas is the reason why they're so average now is because all the recruits are maybe deciding, especially all the Dallas recruits, because back when I was growing up, I'm old. Back when I was growing up, every Dallas recruit went to Texas. Like that was just what you did. Every Dallas football recruit, the best Dallas recruit, would always go to Texas. It still is kind of, but it's always been like, oh, now I can just go over to TCU real quick in Fort Worth, or I can just go down to Waco an hour and play. Like, so instead of going 3.5 hours to Austin, so I really do think Baylor and TCU stole a lot of their athletes and their recruits, but now it's going to be a little different. Now it's going to be like, all right, Dallas recruit, do you want to play with Baylor and TCU and play with all the little like the whiny babies, or do you want to play with Texas and play against Alabama, LSU, and all those guys, Oklahoma, every year? So I don't know. It's gonna be different. I bet when it's right, like the first couple of years when it actually happens, I think I bet some people will go to Baylor just because like, oh, they got the clout, but I get to play easy teams. Like it could be in that way. It could work in the favor of those teams. I think Baylor's really TCU finally are at that clout level. Could be interesting. A lot of scenarios I'm just making up. A lot of opportunities. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I just love chaos. I love because I have no idea what's going to happen. There's no prediction. I can't even predict anything because it's just there's so many layers to this. So yeah, I'm excited. I am.